All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, my beautiful people. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for all the love and support I've been getting recently. This marks 50 subscribers on the YouTube channel. I just want to note that as a huge milestone. I really appreciate everybody for taking the time out of their day and tuning in, whether it's one video or all the videos. I just want to thank you guys for all the minutes and all the time that you guys have spent with me in the room. I just recently got a new setup right here. Hopefully you guys like it. Let me know whether you guys like this one or the other one. I'd really appreciate you guys letting me know. This video in specific is going to be super dope due to the fact that this finishes my vinyl collection for this specific artist. So this is super lit. I've always looked up to this specific artist, and I'm so thankful that I ended up getting it done. So yeah, I just got this one like a few days ago, but I just started my semester recently. So before I procrastinate more, I want to get this out, and I really want to say thank you guys. So yeah, this is the one that marks it. In my first video ever, I remember I was mentioning that I wanted to get the Pop Smoke one for the first one. So I think it's super lit that I was able to actually complete it. This one came as like the 5-year anniversary, which is super dope. And this one was his first official mixtape, and this one has Welcome to the Party, which is the standout track on this one. And then obviously, like right above me on the ceiling is the Meet the Volume 2, Meet the Woo Volume 2. And I think it's super dope how he was able to establish at such a young age. I think it was in the span of like a year and a half that the blow up and the fact that he actually was able to do so great in the rap game for such little time was amazing. So I think this cemented a moment in history when it comes to rap. So I think it's super dope. And RIP Pop Smoke, you know what I'm saying? I'm so thankful that I was able to actually collect these, because eventually, if I ever do have children, I would love to say that this was probably one of, if not one of the great, one of, if not the greatest. I know it's controversial, but of my generation when it comes to like music makers, especially at such a young age. So I think the potential speaks for itself. It's just that he didn't have enough time on this planet, sadly, to fulfill what he needed to do. And yeah, like I think it's super dope how he released such great bodies of work, whether it was posthumous or while he was alive. And I think it's super awesome that I'm still holding on to some of these. Like it was always my dream to meet him, but obviously since his passing that happened in February 19th, I think it's crazy that he left such a impact not only on me, but I know various other people. So I always love that I'm able to bring him up into conversations whenever I can. So he's like super dope. So I think this one is probably second favorite for me when it comes to the collection. So yeah, I showed this one off in the first vinyl video, but yeah, I've kept them all dead stock. Haven't took out the wrap yet, so I'm so excited when I get to play some of these eventually when I'm older. The next one is Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. I think this one's probably the one that, out of his posthumous releases, is best. And I think out of his entire released categories or catalog, this one would probably classify as one of the better ones for a lot of people. And I think some of my favorite standout tracks on this, obviously Dior rings to mind, but I think like For the Night is probably good. And I think my favorite track off of this is Yeah Yeah, and I think that's probably his best track when it comes to like his solo performance when it comes to variety. So yeah, he did super great on this, and it sucks that he never got to see the success of this specific album. But yeah, I think it's also cool how that little rose in the back is actually something that he had on the top of his hand. So if you ever see him in pictures and stuff, I think it's really cool how that specific rose is meant to not only symbolize him, but roses, have thorns, but they're still loving, and people give them out to people who they care about. So I think it's really cool how even though he was able to pass, they were able to still honor him in some specific senses. So shout out my boy Pop Smoke, super lit. The last one is going to be the Faith one, and I don't know if I mentioned this in the first video where I showed this one off, or the second video, I forget which one it was. But this one, actually, the person who sold it to me didn't let me know that it was going to be the clear vinyl Walmart exclusive. So that's cool, because the two vinyls that I have that I just showed, this one and the Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, are actually both clear vinyls. And I had no intention of like matching them together, but I think it's super lit how he's able to just do so great when it comes to the diversity of catalog. Even though most of these songs are incomplete, I will say that a lot of them are probably like rough ideas or some sketches that some artists would like to portray them if they're drawing canvases, let's say. I would say that the fact that he was able to do certain songs in such a short span, was able to diversify himself as an artist in such a short amount of time. I think it's really impactful because it shows how he was hungry, to succeed, do great. So yeah, shout out my boy Pop Smoke. I just wanted to say R.I.P. the Woo, como dicen todos allá, and I know that his fam is still going out strong with the foundation that's going on, and I really want to say that that's beautiful, and yeah, it's super lit. I know that this is probably not the typical setup, but I just really wanted to say thank you guys for everything. I'm planning on probably doing this mixed up into like what I'm getting in the mail. So I think like once I finish certain artists, I'll be able to catalog them as like a timestamp within the channel, so that way I know when certain vinyls came and when something was completed. So yeah, enough rambling. I just want to say thank you, and yeah, let me know how you guys like the setup. I really appreciate every single one of you guys, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day / night whenever you're hearing this. Take care. Love you. Take care.